Hello and welcome to the science segment on France 24. Today, we take a look at the launch of the world's first news channel powered by AI and how it's set to change the work we do as TV journalists.
So, were you fooled? No, she is not a new France 24 presenter. Rather, that was a creation of artificial intelligence. Now, in a few years' time, maybe my avatar will be here presenting the news to you, but for the moment, I'm still here in the flesh, as is our science editor, Julia Seeger. And
Hello,
Julia,
Nadia.
hello. You're here to talk to us today because there is a channel that is to be launched very shortly that will be powered in part by artificial intelligence. Quite a thought indeed. We just saw a snippet of it there. Give us a sense of how this is going to work.
Well, this is actually the use of an app that's open to everybody. So this is just to tell you how much it's easy today to have access to this type of artificial intelligence. But before being a channel, it's actually going to be a video platform funded by advertising. And the goal in a couple of months is to be able to bring a personalized news bulletin to people depending on their news interests, but also on the type of presenting that they prefer. And they're going to do so with a unique mix of real, but also AI-generated content. Before we go any further, let's take a peek into what actually that looks like.
Hello, and welcome to Channel One, a new way of consuming, reporting, and thinking about the news powered by artificial intelligence. Today, you'll witness AI-generated stories and headlines, captivating visuals, and data-driven insights.
Let's start with our reporters. You can hear us and see our lips moving. But no one was recorded saying what we're all saying. I'm powered by sophisticated systems behind the scenes. And I can speak in any language. Για παράδειγμα, αυτή τη στιγμή μιλάω στα ελληνικά. O kung pinapanood mo ako mula sa Maynila, marunong akong magsalita ng Filipino.
It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
It is.
All those different languages. Now, it's pretty real, but when you actually look closer, you can see that the lips aren't synchronized that well. The voice is still very choppy, and the producers actually admit today that they consider the technology to not be that good. But in 12 to 18 months, there's going to be a great achievement. Now, the goal, of course, is to make AI and humans absolutely indistinguishable. There will be real, but also AI-generated presenters that will be based, so avatars based on presenters that already exist who will be paid for the use of their images. The same goes for footage. So they're going to use real footage of events that actually happened and were filmed, but they're also going to be able to create AI-generated content to reevaluate and recreate events that have happened but haven't been filmed. And that's a huge game changer because that means that you can bring that's a problem that we have as news channels. Sometimes something has happened, but we don't have the footage. And when it comes to TV, it can be difficult to bring that news. So that means that they're going to be able to create a lot of content, 500 to 1,000 segments a day. That's absolutely huge. One of the reasons why they want to do that is also to be able to personalize that news bulletin. Now, the producers want to reassure people. They say that some humans are still going to be part of the newsroom. It's only 11 people for the entire newsroom, one editor-in-chief, and mainly most people are going to be technicians. But they will have to keep on working with reporters on the ground because there's one thing AI can't do, and that's to be able to collect raw information on the ground.
That's a really important aspect of journalism, Julia. Another really important aspect, though, is making sure actually something is true. We do a lot of that here at France 24, deciphering what's true and what's not. How will it work with this AI news channel?
Well, the producers say that the information generated by the AI will be based on, I quote, primary trusted sources. So that's actually quite interesting. We know that they're going to create a partnership with a news agency, and they're going to be doing whatever news channels are doing today, which is to operate on the assumption that whatever they're receiving from the news agency has already been verified. So working with those wires and that footage. But they also say they're going to be able to be unbiased. And that's really interesting, too, because you have to understand that AI will reflect the editorial line you give it. So if you feed it, for instance, news sources that come from, let's say, mainstream dominant sources, that's what you'll get. If you feed it sources that come from alternative channels, that's what you'll get. So the source is actually very interesting, and for now they haven't said what they're going to be doing. Now, artificial intelligence has a comparative advantage, and that's to decipher what is fake from what's real. So fake news, deep fakes, so those sounds and videos that have been manipulating, which is a huge issue for news channels today. And going forward, current news channels are going to have to adopt more and more softwares that can identify those false information. One last thing that can be striking to you is the fact also that those bulletins that are personalized for people are going to encapsulate us a little bit more into these information bubbles, bringing us exactly what we want to hear, exactly the type of content and the type of topics we want to hear about. So that means you're not going to be confronted with other opinions and perspectives anymore. And I think that's somewhat of a sad prospect.
Indeed, Julia, and maybe the beginning of the end of France 24 as we know it?
Well, for now, I think it's just going to be, we're just going to try to find ways to use artificial intelligence to automate certain tasks to be even faster in our way to be able to bring the news to people.
All right.
Well, that's actually what I'm hoping.
Well, we'll see what happens. She's still with us, flesh and blood for now. Julia Seeger, our science editor, for us there. Thank you very much.